If you clicked on this video, you might be wondering if there's anything that you need to be doing to even prepare for adoption. You may not be ready to bring your adopted child home this year, but you want to start working towards something to be ready for adoption. So there's a lot of things that you could be doing, but in this video, I'm going to show you the top 5 things that you have to do to be adoption ready. Before we get into it, as always, like this video, subscribe to the channel to get more content like this. Here are the top 5 things that you need to do before you adopt. Number 1, be financially stable and ready to invest in adoption. A common misconception among first-time hopeful adoptive parents is that they need to have like $45,000 saved up before they even start their adoption. That's just not true. That's a myth. You don't need to have all of this money ready to go because most professionals that you will work with will have you pay as you go. They're not going to have you pay this whole lump sum. So you can start your adoption process and just budget for a couple thousands of dollars every couple of months that you have to pay so that you're not just coming out of pocket thousands and thousands of dollars all at once. And anyone who asks you to pay $20,000 to $30,000 upfront, you should probably run. They're probably scammers. So if you wait to save up all that money, it can take you forever to ever even be ready for adoption. And so if that's on your heart and you're like, man, I want to be able to do this within the next 2 years, you can start. Just make sure you're budgeting accordingly. Number 2 is investing in resources that will guide you through the process. Now, the way I like to think of it is 2 different types of things. The first thing is investing in resources that will help you understand adoption and how it works. And then the second thing that I think about is the actual adoption journey. So these are the 2 things. This is what I recommend to families working with so many families over the years successfully adopt, all right? This bucket is really important, even though it may feel like, man, I need to spend money here, but then I also need to spend money here. It's important for you to invest in resources that will help guide you through the process, because if you don't know how to navigate through the process, it will actually end up costing you a lot more money than you ever expected. So what I find with working with families over the years is that one of the main reasons why some families end up spending $50,000 or for it to take them like 1, 2, or 3 years through the process is because of the mistakes they made along the way, because they didn't understand how the adoption journey actually works. They didn't know what to do. They didn't have a clear roadmap, and they were just kind of like trying different things along the way to see what works. That's a really terrible way to go through the adoption journey. So investing first here in adoption resource that's going to show you this is the roadmap. This is what you should expect. These are the steps in the process will actually help you make good decisions during your actual adoption journey and will end up actually saving you money. So let me give you an example. I've worked with a family who they had spent I think it was maybe up to $10,000 with an adoption agency that they found researching on their own, right? That's what most families do. They research on Google, they found this agency because they heard that agencies are the way that you should adopt. And so they did their home study, chose the agency. 2+ years later, nothing was happening. They were just waiting with nothing. They spent all this money. Well, after the 2.5 years were up, they finally started just talking about, okay, we need to do something. We can't just keep sitting here because we don't know if anything is going to happen. We can't keep putting money in here not knowing if we're ever going to adopt. And so they were able to find my program that I offer. And through the program, within 12 months, they were able to bring the baby girl home. What was the power of that program? It was the knowledge and the information they needed to understand. They had a roadmap for how to walk through the journey, which ended up saving them time and money in their actual adoption journey. All right, so there's several resources that you can use. The ones that I would obviously tell you guys to use is our Adoption Success Accelerator program. So if you're interested in that, you can click the link below, like I said earlier, to watch the free training. It gives you more information about the program if you're interested. Number 3, top thing that you need to do before you adopt is learn about the adoption tax credit. You guys, the adoption tax credit is so amazing, and I love telling families about it. So if you have adopted a child, or if your adoption did not go through, the next year after that, you can claim the federal adoption tax credit. Right now, you can claim up to $15,500 $590 for each child that you've adopted. I'll go into all the details about this amazing benefit that's available to all adoptive families in this video right here. And I talk about who qualifies and all of the things, okay? So make sure that you check out that video to learn everything you need to know about the adoption tax credit. All right, number 4 top thing that you need to do before you adopt is invest in adoption books and also books about trauma. My number 1 recommended favorite book to recommend to everybody is Karyn Purvis's book called The Connected Child. I just think that book is so amazing. I'm gonna put in the description box below a list of a couple other books that will be a great starting point for you to start learning about adoption, learning about trauma, and all the things. It's really important for you to know that even before you start the process. It'll give you a really, really good launch pad. And number 5 is having a supportive community. Telling your friends and family that you're wanting to adopt is really, really important. I've talked to families who were calling me because they desire to adopt, but they didn't want to tell their family about it. And I always caution families when they do that, because the adoption journey can be complicated. You're going to need emotional support from your family and friends to tell you it's okay, we're here with you, we're gonna help you pay for this, can we help you pay for that? You're gonna need that. You need the support, especially for single parents who are adopting. You need a supportive community around you, because parenting is one thing. As a parent, I need support. But when you add adoption to that with everything else that comes with it, you definitely needs support. So don't skim that off. Don't be like, I'll get it later. Really be intentional right now before you ever start the adoption process to start thinking through who you want to be your supportive community. Maybe you want to think about having a therapist, especially if you've had failed IVF procedures or infertility. And also, like I said, friends and family, friends that you trust that will actually support you. But this is so, so, so important, okay? Don't treat it like it's the less one out of all of them. Really be intentional to make sure you build a supportive community around you before you start the adoption process. All right, guys, so those are the top 5 things that you need to do before you adopt. All right, now I just want to give you a quick reminder to make sure you click the link below again to get access to our free training called How to Grow Your Family Through Adoption Successfully Without Losing Time, Money, or Hope in the process. All right, again, the link is below. All right, guys, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and watch this video next about the adoption tax credit. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.